Welcome everybody, and thank you for listening to the Better Bushcraft Podcast, the place where you will learn the skills to succeed on your next outdoor adventure. My name is Tommy Clark, your host, and this is episode 8, a little bit of everything. But before we get into today's topic, there's a couple things that's new here at Better Bushcraft. First of all, I put up a new video the other day showing you my Blind Horse Knives, Bushcrafter knife. I just received it in the mail about a week and a half ago, and I've had some time to take it out once and did a couple different things, built some fires with it, doing some feather sticks and the such. But overall, so far, I'm very excited. It's beat my expectations, and I can't wait to put up a review video here shortly in the next week or so about that. So if you're looking for a good knife, I definitely suggest you check out all the knives there at blindhorseknives.com. They have great selection, awesome prices for a custom knife, and like I said, I'm really impressed with the craftsmanship and my knife in particular, the Bushcrafter. So I have a new video just showing you a little bit about the knife and what it looks like. I also put up another video talking about homemade fatwood Firesteel handle that I've made. I ordered some new fatwood, and I put up a video showing you my new Firesteel handle that I made. I bought one from Firesteel.com. I just bought a 3/8 inch by 4 inch blank, and what I did was I just carved out some fatwood and made a nice Firesteel handle for it, and it turned out pretty well for my first try. Hopefully the next couple that I make look even better, but I'm really impressed with it, and it works really great for me. So check out that video if you have any interest in making your own Firesteel handle, and maybe it'll give you some ideas. So that's another video that I put up. I also have one about my dry sacks that I got for Christmas. A dry sack is basically just what it sounds like. It's a bag that you put in some stuff, like maybe your socks, your wallet, a watch, or your cell phone, and you tie it up so when it's in your bag, in case your bag gets wet or whatever, it keeps your stuff really dry. I did some initial tests with it, full immersion and water test, and I'm really quite pleased with these bags. They came from Walmart, so I was wondering how well they'd work, but surprisingly it worked really well, and I think the price point on those is like $12 to $15 or so, and you get 3 different size bags. So if you're interested in keeping some of your stuff dry and you need some ideas, check out that video. And if you want to, you could order those sacks through my website. I have a store on my site, and you can get the best prices for them on the site as well. So be sure to check out that video. And I have new articles up. Just check them out as well. Some of the stuff that I wrote in those articles we're going to cover in this podcast, but check those out as well. And I forgot, I just put up a new video today just showing you how well fatwood works, so be sure to check that as well. On my end, I had a great Christmas break. Hope you all did as well. It was a long break, so I didn't really get too much stuff on the website, but I'm ready to get back to a regular schedule and put out some great content for you all, and I'm really excited with some of the stuff I have lined up here in 2012. So anyways, let's just jump into the main topic. This podcast is basically just going to be a little bit of everything. I tried recording a podcast, actually did record a podcast about a week and a half ago, right around Christmas time, and it's one of those things where I had it recorded and I was in the middle of making some editing and stuff like that, and my computer decided that it needed to do some updates, so it just shut down on me. I didn't have a chance to save it, and I lost what I was working on, so I just decided, you know what, might as well just leave it for, now. I didn't really have that much time anyways to work on it, but so I apologize for the couple week delay for this podcast, but I thought for this one, I'll just do a little bit of everything and just try it again. So anyways, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is right before Christmas, I think it was like 5 days before Christmas, my buddy and I and my brother decided to do a short bushcrafting trip. So what we did was we went out to some land that we know a guy that owns over by a lake here. And we didn't get out there until probably 6:30 or 7, so it was already dark out, but we just really wanted to go out and camp overnight, so that's what we did. But we just got out there. It was dark, but we just built a little fire pit, and while we were setting up the fire and got that going, we put up a little reflection wall in the back. Nothing too big, which, looking back, if I had more time, I would have made it a lot bigger. But, just a probably 4-foot reflection wall by maybe 3.5 feet wide or so. And once we got that going, we just put up a simple lean-to shelter up, and showed my friend and my brother, a couple of the basics about having to make a lean-to shelter for fire, and also for heat retention. That's what I'm going for. But so instead of just a standard lean-to, we had a steeper angle and pinned the back down really well, and we just put in our bedding and stuff in there, and it worked out pretty well. It was about 28 degrees or so when we got out there. I think it got down to maybe 22 or so, but it was clear outside, and wind wasn't really an issue, so that helped out a lot. But it was a good time. We just played cards and showed a couple different things about how to make a fire and building it out so it's more of a long fire for heat throughout the night. I did have to get up. It was about one time in the middle of the night because I woke up kind of cold and I realized our fire went out. So I finally got it to go after working on it for 20 to 30 minutes. So that's one thing that I should have prepared a little bit better for, just making sure we had a larger pile of wood than we did. But I always underestimate, so that's one thing I really need to work on is getting a lot of firewood ready, so I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night like I did and with my flashlight and grab some firewood. But luckily I knew the area where we're camping. We've been there dozens of times, so I knew where I was walking and it was clear terrain. But I mean, if I was going to have to do that somewhere I wasn't familiar with, that's really not the best idea. But we made it work, and we slept through the night pretty comfortably. I won't say it was the most warm experience that I've had, but it was definitely fun. And if we had more time, we would have been able to build out the walls a little bit and keep the heat in a little bit better. But for the most part, just throwing up a quick shelter and building a little reflection wall for our fire. We had a pretty warm night, and we woke up fine, and we just made some breakfast in the morning and called it good. But so that was a really good time. I try not to let the cold weather keep me from going out bushcrafting. In fact, like I said before, it's my favorite time to go out just because you benefit from that fire. You can definitely tell that heat coming off there, and it's a good time. So anyways, we did that, and that was a pretty interesting experience for all of us, and I know that my brother learned a lot, so that was pretty cool to be able to teach someone how to do some things to just do a little bit better while you're out there. So that was the first thing that I wanted to cover. Also, it was Christmas time, so I got some really cool gear over the Christmas break. The first thing that I got is a knife sharpener. It was just one of those small pocket knife sharpeners, and I already had one before, but mine was kind of not doing the job so well, so I got a pretty cool one and using it, and it works pretty well. One of the things that I want to work on in 2012 is definitely my knife sharpening skills. I mean, I can do it, I can get an edge or whatever, but I want to be able to really get like a razor edge. I want my knives to be super sharp all the time. That's one thing that I don't enjoy is, when you're trying to use your knife and it's not doing what you are asking for it to do. So hopefully this knife sharpener will help me work on that a little bit and keep my gear really sharp. So that was the first gift that I got. I also got those dry sacks like I talked about in my video, but that was a pretty cool gift. I don't have a big issue with keeping my gear dry just because my Maxpedition backpack that I use for bushcrafting already keeps all my gear nice and dry or whatever. But it's nice to put all my small stuff in one little pouch, not only for keeping it dry, but just to keep it together. I don't like to have my gear, scattered throughout my bag. It makes it tough to, just get to what you need. So, and it's also just a secondary level of waterproof protection. So that was really cool. The other thing that I got was the fat wood. Here in Kansas, it's not that common to stumble upon, some pine trees or whatever. So, I normally have to order my fat wood. So it was nice to get some. I got it from Firesteel.com is where my wife ordered it from. And I love their fat wood. It's really, really cheap to buy it from there. They give you a nice piece of wood, and every time I get it, it's, a quality piece of wood. I mean, it's got a lot of fat wood in it, and it's not just some dried out piece of wood. And, I put that in different places in my bag, as well as this time I made a Firesteel handle from it. So, that was a really cool thing to get. Let's see. Oh, I also got the new Firesteel, like I said. And it's the Armageddon, I believe, is what they call it there at Firesteel.com. It's a big Firesteel. It's a 3/8 inch by 4 inches, and it does the job. I mean, it puts out a lot of sparks, especially with my new Bushcrafter knife. I mean, it's almost like, have you seen those videos of Mish Metal? And there's debate whether Mish Metal and Firesteel are the same thing. But whatever the case may be, with this Firesteel and knife combination, I can be standing up and scrape it, and the gobs of spark just bounce off the ground, and it puts out a lot of different sparks. So it's really easy to start a fire with a good quality Firesteel, and I'm really impressed with the Firesteels that they have there at Firesteel.com. So I got that, so I was really excited, and once I got it, a few days later, I made the handle combination with it, and now it's my standalone Firesteel pretty much that I put on my knife sheath. So that was really exciting for me. Some other things that I got that was pretty cool. I got a neat boonie hat, or I don't really know the correct term, but those round brim hats that people have while they're out bushcrafting or mowing the lawn or whatever. But it's pretty cool. It's a nice khaki color hat, and something I didn't ask for, but I was really happy to get. My wife hates it just because she thinks it's goofy looking, but I love it. It's pretty cool, so I'm excited to take that out and use that as my head protection, and so it was a pretty cool thing for me to get. And then the last thing, it was actually a gift to myself. Not so much for Christmas, but for my birthday, which is coming up here in a couple days, and that was the Blind Horse Knives Bushcrafter knife. Like I said, it is very impressive. It's a custom-made knife, and the guys there at Blind Horse Knives are a great group of people. I talked to LT on the phone, and he was very helpful and knowledgeable about just helping me get exactly what I wanted, and super fast shipping. And the cool thing about them is they have left-handed knife sheaths available. So since I'm left-handed, sometimes it's kind of hard to find a good sheath that I can carry on my left side. So I'm really impressed with the sheath as well. I mean, it's a great quality leather, and it looks awesome. So that was a gift to myself. But that's the last of the gear that I got so far. And hopefully I get some more cool stuff for my birthday, and I'll be able to tell you guys about that as well. But let's just jump on into another thing that happened over the Christmas break. And this happened on a separate trip about a week and a half ago. Well, it's probably like, I know for sure it's 9 days ago because I've been living with it since then. And what I'm talking about is I got into some poison something. I'm not sure what. Me and my buddy, we went out to play frisbee golf, and then we did some bushcrafting afterwards. And we did the standard thing. We looked for a fire tinder, and just got sticks and stuff to burn and whatnot, and nothing out of the ordinary that I can think of. But after a few days, I noticed that I started to get a couple rashes on my hand, and didn't think too much about it. Thought it'd go away, and it started to spread. So it spread from my left hand onto my fingers, down my wrist, onto my forearm, and it's still spreading. So it spread to my right hand in between my knuckles, which drives me nuts. I just want to scratch it like crazy. I got it on the inside of my elbow, part of my leg, and some other areas that I'm not going to mention, but you can just imagine. Because I think what happened was I got into either some poison ivy, poison oak, something, and I didn't notice it right away. So, I got home and took a shower like I normally do, and I think that was a big mistake. So while taking a shower, it spread all over my body. So I'm still dealing with it, and I've tried several different things, and stuff is helping it a little bit, but even now it's still kind of nasty and oozing out my pores and stuff like that. So what to learn from this? Well, remember to identify what you are touching. Like in my case, though, I'm pretty sure everything I touched was not out of the normal, but I must have gotten to something. And just be sure to wash your hands well with soap and cold water after your trips, but before you shower. So after you get home from bushcrafting or being out in the woods or doing anything outside, wash your hands really well, soap and water, but make sure it's cold water so it doesn't spread. Hot water opens up your pores, so if you do have any oils or stuff from poison ivy, poison oak, you're just going to spread it to the rest of your body. But cold water is the best bet for that. But and just remember also that poison ivy, oak, etc. can still affect you in the winter, even when it looks dead. And it's harder to almost identify when it's dead, obviously, by my own case. It's wintertime. I've never had poison ivy before, which is odd because I've definitely trekked through it many, many times. But this time it got me. So just be careful, every time you go out, and know what you're touching and cutting off, or fire tinder or whatever. But anyway, so hopefully this stuff goes away in the next week or so. I'm kind of getting tired of scratching it, and I even considered buying some sandpaper to just rub it raw, but I know that's not the best idea. And I cut my fingernails down to try to prevent it from spreading. And but I wake up scratching, which is not good. So if any of you guys have any really cool tips on how to get rid of it, you can just send me an email at idea@betterbushcraft.com, or post a comment somewhere on my website, or just do that, because I'd really appreciate your help, because this stuff is nasty and I hate scratching. So anyways, just to give you guys a heads up on just being careful the next time you go out, and not to touch stuff that will make you itch. So, all right, and the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about in this podcast is the new year. Happy New Year to all of you. Hopefully you guys had a great celebration for that, and this is going to be a great year of many exciting things here at Better Bushcraft. I just started this company in August, so a lot of things have been moving rather quickly, and I got some really great stuff in the works for this year. Some of the basic stuff, a lot more videos, which I'm going to be doing my how-to videos or in the field training videos in the next month or so. And those are going to be more videos of just how to do stuff, how to build a correct fire, shelters, scouting, wild edibles, all that stuff I'm going to really focus on here in the early part of this year. My videos so far have been just basically just product reviews, and how to build kits, and some how-to videos, but I'm really going to do a lot of field testing and in the field videos. So that's pretty exciting, as well as some more articles, just that I'm keep doing. So pump out more articles and podcasts as well. Like I said before, this is going to be a weekly podcast, so hopefully it'll get better in production. Like I said, I'm really new to this whole podcasting thing, but I really want it to be a good quality podcast, not just something I throw together. So I'm learning a lot about it. So hopefully, as we progress through the year, they'll get better and more concise, a lot more content and everything that you guys want it to be. So look forward to that. Excuse me. I'm also going to be putting a members-only section to the website, something that I've had in the works so far. Not really quite sure when, but what it's going to entail is just exclusive content and information only to members, and hopefully put a lot of great stuff in there, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that, so just be sure to keep looking for that. As well as my email newsletter. My first issue is coming out this month. Got a few people signed up for that, more and more each week, so I'm pretty excited about that. But, it's going to be something where I just send out exclusive content through my newsletter to the people that are interested, and give you some great tips and insights and things that are going on here at Better Bushcraft. And also in there, going to have contest giveaways, something I'm really excited about. I always love to get free stuff. I mean, who doesn't? So I'm thinking about giving away a lot of cool gear, and the way that you'd be able to participate in that is you must be signed up for the email newsletter. And it's really simple to do. It's free. I'm never going to charge for my basic email newsletter. So if you go to the website, betterbushcraft.com, and on the right side, right when you open the page, you just put in your first name and your email, and then you'll be signed up. And then you'll be getting information from me, as well as how to enter the contests, and hopefully a lot of the prizes that I give away you guys are going to enjoy, from fire kits to just all sorts of different gear, just to get people involved and excited about bushcraft, and hopefully do some that involve video contests where I'll have some type of challenge, and then you guys would submit your video and put those on the web. I think it'd be a real cool way to get the community involved and see some of the skills that you guys have out there as well. So just sign up for the email newsletter for that. Another thing here in 2012 is I'm just going to build up my Better Bushcraft store. I already have it on my website. If you haven't checked it out, you could just go to my website and click on store, and then you'll see all the products that I use personally or that I recommend, and they have the best possible price there, and you guys can just see some of the stuff that I carry, and if you're interested, you could just purchase it there. It's powered through Amazon, so it's great quality customer service, fast shipping, secure, and it definitely helps me out keep all my stuff going here at Better Bushcraft. So be sure to check that out, and hopefully I'll be adding a lot more stuff here in the soon future about that. So going along those same lines, I'm going to be making my Better Bushcraft products, and that would be something that is a Better Bushcraft product only, like that I would either personally make or something like that. So I got some great ideas in the works. I'm really excited about it, and hopefully do some branding with that as well. And these are going to be products that will be really useful to you, and a good price, and just helps me out, keep this website going and everything like that. And hopefully you guys will be really excited about that, and I'll be doing some giveaways with those as well. So let's see, what else do I have in here? Oh, a really cool thing that I want to do is interviews with some high-profile bushcrafters, survivalists and the like. I've been talking with a few different people, and I want to set up some podcasting interviews with some of those people that you see on TV or that you come to know, and that'll be really exciting, and hopefully we can all learn from them as well. And I could do partnerships with companies to bring you great information, product reviews, etc. I know this sounds like a lot of different stuff, because it really is. I'm getting things moving on pretty quickly, but I want a partnership with a few companies that are really into bushcraft and have, higher good reputation, good customer service. So if you know any of good companies, I'm gearing towards the smaller companies just to get them some business. But if you know any good companies that would be interested, or just for ones for me to check out, you can send those to idea@betterbushcraft.com. And if you're a small company, I'd love to see what you have as well. I mean, I'll definitely partner with people just to grow the bushcraft community and make it as great as it can. So, and the last thing that I have on here as far as things that are happening here in 2012 is some better bushcraft campouts. If you're in the area, I'm in central Kansas, I'm planning on having overnight bushcrafting trips with people, hopefully put in some workshops in there, learn different skills and stuff, as well as just good fellowship and a good time. I want to have a community here that we can all learn from each other and have a good, maybe it's probably going to be like a 2-day weekend trip that we can all get together and learn some stuff and have a good time. So, and there's a lot more ideas I'm working on, but just to keep in touch with me about all this different stuff that's going on, I know it's hard to keep up. Just be sure to sign up for the email newsletter, and you'll get all this latest news and information about this stuff. So, and I'm only going to use the newsletter for information. I'm not going to send it out to other people or whatever, because I hate getting spam as much as the next person. So you could feel good about that. So and other ways to stay in contact with me, you could do the newsletter, like I said. That's the best way. And on Twitter, you can follow me at Tommy B. Clark. That's Tommy, the letter B, Clark. And I put out, maybe 10 tweets a week. I know I need to do a lot better job at that, but so be sure to check that out. And on Facebook and YouTube, my name is Better Bushcraft. I've been getting a lot more YouTube subscribers, which I appreciate, and a lot more downloads and views, so that's pretty exciting. And then the last way for me to stay in contact with you, or vice versa I should say, is you could just send me an email, idea@betterbushcraft.com. You can send me ideas or comments or suggestions, anything, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. So anyways, guys, I look forward to hearing from all of you in 2012, with your ideas, your input, and just get to know you. So let's make 2012 a great year for bushcraft and sharing the knowledge with someone, because that's pretty much what it's all about. So until next week, guys, you all take care. Bye.